Hey, Burrow Biker here. Versys X-300 of 2017. What I did today is opened up the plug right here for the power socket adapter that I bought. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did that. I did buy a Bikemaster Power Socket. I don't know if you can read that. It's got the bullet connectors on the end. Now it looks like they're the same because these are 0.157 and I believe that's what's coming out of the bike. And that particular adapter, DC, fits in here. Now this has little threads on it, and you can, it looks like I'm going to be able to thread that right in that hole. I don't want to put that in there all the way right now because I want to make sure that the bullet connectors are the right size. And I'm going to do that underneath the motorcycle. But let me show you how I took off the fairing. There was nowhere that I could find that actually showed me how to do this. But I took down, I guess you call it the upper fairing. I don't know, this fairing right here. If I look underneath, you can see the little green tabs. If I can point to them right here, green tabs. There's 1, 2, 3, and on the other side there's 1, 2, 3. And those go in the little grommets. What I'll do is shine a light on those. There's a grommet right there, and a rubber grommet right there. And when I went ahead and took this off, you have to take the windshield off first. That's where the windshield goes, with those 4 screws. Here's the windshield. It goes on there like that, of course, but you got to put the fairing back on there first. And the way you do that, set it right into place, and then what you have to do is work those tabs into those grommets. And then there's 2 screws on this side and also 2 screws on the other side. I was a little bit concerned about taking that off. I didn't know how that held on, but once I undid the screws, and there's also another screw right here that you screw in on the back side of the fairing. And once I took all those out, I gently, just very gently tugged on it and it popped out. So I would say if you're going to do that, don't manhandle it because you'd probably break it. So that's how I did that. When I was working with that hole, you turn the handlebars all the way to the right. I bought this little gadget here at Harbor Freight. It's a small Phillips socket set. It came in really handy. And what I did with this, and it was difficult to do. I'm not going to lie, very difficult to do. What I had to do is take my hand and get that thing and work that up into that hole, if you can see that screwdriver right there. Now the problem with that is you can't see the other side without taking the fairing off. So what I did, I had to use my right hand to line that particular piece of equipment up. And then I had to look through here, stick my finger in there and hold the other end of the socket, Phillips socket, or the Phillips screwdriver thing in there, and undo the screw on that plug. Here's the, this is the plug that was in there. I screwed it back in. There's the plug that fit in there, fit through, and then that little metal bracket was there, and then it screwed in. And what you had to do is unloosen that particular screw. Well, without taking that fairing off, you couldn't even see it. I couldn't get my hand up in there and do it well enough, so I had to take it off. There was just enough room in here, just enough room to get my finger in there and hold the other end of that socket set in there to get that off. So that's how I did that. I hope this video is going to be okay. I'm running out of juice here on my camera. Also, a couple other things I'm going to show you here. I don't know if you can see in there where I'm shining it. Let me see, shining the flashlight. Where are we at here? Here we go. If you can see that little, you see that bracket in there? There's a little bracket with 2 holes in it. And hanging down from that bracket, you see a plug. That's where the relay goes. The relay is about $18 at the Kawasaki dealer. And that plug, if you use the connections on the motorcycle, won't work unless you buy that relay and plug it in. What you do is you take the relay and you slide it on that metal bracket, and then other plug, you just plug it in to the relay and you're ready to go. But before you do that, you probably have to redo that or undo that wire connector on that plug. So that's a pretty easy fix. You don't need to take the fairing off to do that. You can do that right up from the top. And if you can see that little, that little white connection there, that's a connection for the fog lights or the running lights. And when you hook those up, the end of it, I think the end comes off of there, and the end on the socket for the fog lights actually fit on there. So that's that. And I'm going to try to show you. I don't know if you can see down in there. You see there's one bullet connector. There's 2 bullet connectors there. You can probably see the tops of both of them. That's where the other end of the socket goes in. Now I'm going to put that in. I don't know if I have enough wire on the leads on that thing to fit, but I'm going to see what happens. And when I do that, I'll do another video so you can see whether I was able to do that or not. But that's about it. This is going to save me a couple of $100 because I think just for the DC socket from Kawasaki, this particular thing was, I think, $8 or $9. Got it on Amazon. This same thing from Kawasaki is $184. So tell me why they have to charge that much money. I don't know. But anyway, I was a little skeptical of doing this, but with a little research, it took me days to figure this out because I didn't want to ruin anything. I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything or wasn't going to ruin the bike. But I'm going to go ahead now and see if those connections work. Plug that DC socket in there, and I'll probably do another video when I get done. If there's anything on here that I didn't do right or you think is wrong, let me know. Otherwise, anyone else that wants to try this, it's going to be difficult to do unless you got really, really tiny hands. This little wrench, or DC, Phillips socket wrench, was $2.99 at Harbor Freight. And I had a free coupon for some AA batteries that sold for $5. Got those for free. So for $2.99. Plus 20% off, and then get batteries for free is a pretty good deal. But this little wrench worked. You had to really finagle with it to get it to work, but it did work. So anyone who wants to try this, go ahead, let me know. I'm going to post this on the Versys forum so you can reply with that. And I'll do another video when I get it all done. Burro Biker out.